Hey friend, this is Jennifer, and this is the Jennifer Allwood Show, the podcast for women who want to learn how to live an intentional life or build their creative business. I'll be giving you my very best business tips, bringing you interesting guests, giving you a daily dose of Jesus, and I'm committed to always keeping it real. Grab a cup of coffee and let's dive in. I'm so honored that you're here. Hey friend, my Creators Roadmap course is open. So listen, we only have the course open once a year. We haven't been open since April of last year, and we will be closing the doors again at midnight CST on Valentine's Day this year. So go to creatorsroadmap.com right now if you want to join us. So Creators Roadmap is my 6-week-long flagship course where I teach people how to make money in the online space. I teach you how to put ads on your blog, how to do affiliate income, how to start a membership group, do consulting. There are so many instructional videos, tons of handouts, lots of templates where you just literally slip in words and you can send an email to companies that you would like to be sponsored by. So it is such a great package for any entrepreneur who's wanting to get started in the online space. And again, you can sign up at www.creatorsroadmap.com until midnight on Valentine's Day. And I just have to also add, my team hates it when I say www because it's really obvious then that I'm in my late 40s. And yet here we are. I'll see you on the inside, my friends. Well, hello, my podcast people. I feel like that needs to be like a rap song. Podcast people. I have a great topic to discuss with you today. And this topic is mostly geared towards my small business friends who, especially those of you who are in creative industry. So that means you're a maker, you're a DIYer, you're a painter, a crafter, an artist, a cookie maker, anything along those lines. And if that's not you, but you're like, hey, my friend Susie up the street, or my sister-in-law Sarah, or my best friend's mother's dentist's dog walker is a creative, forward this to them, would you? Because I think that this will be really great content for creative people who have a serious issue with technology. Okay, let's talk about this. I've been really thinking about this topic, especially because we are running a free pop-up group on Facebook right now. So if you are not a part of that pop-up group, you haven't seen the conversations, but if you are, you can find it at Ramp Up Your Revenue on Facebook. We have over 10,000 people who are in this pop-up group. Literally though, friends, I need you to know this is only available through February the 15th, and then it's a pop-up group. It'll be gone. So it's called Ramp Up Your Revenue, Get Roadmap Ready, and it's the preview series for my Creators Roadmap course, which launches on February the 11th. And one of the things that is being discussed in this free Facebook group is, how do I grow my business in the online space when essentially I don't like technology? When essentially anything technical, computery, software-ish, website-ish, all of the things causes me a lot of anxiety. And, you know, it's funny because, well, it's not funny, but here's what's interesting to me about this conversation. This is totally me. This is totally me. And what makes the conversation even more interesting to me, and what some of you may not know about me, especially if you're new to my podcast, is that my background is actually in technology. My degree is in computer-based information systems. Short story is that when I graduated from high school, I had a scholarship to a small college in Wayne, Nebraska, and went there for a year and decided, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I blew my scholarship my first year of college because I'd had way too much fun. That's another story for another podcast. And so couldn't renew my scholarship, and my parents were like, and we're not giving you a dime. And I was like, okay, then I guess I won't go back. So instead, I bought a house when I was 21, worked 2 jobs, and at the age of 25, thought, let me go back to college now. Now it's important to me. Now I'm ready. I've got the house. I've got started on a career. I really want to get my business degree. So I started back to college at age 25 and graduated at age 30 with a degree in computer-based information systems. I also graduated like magna cum laude, graduated very well in my class, graduated with very good grades. And so that was at age 30, and here I am, fast forward to 47. So much has changed in technology in the last 17 years. And while I used to enjoy sitting down at a computer and, looking at code, I can't even believe that comes out of my mouth. Testing systems. While I enjoyed that at one point in my life, in my late 20s, now technology is very intimidating to me. And so I think a lot of you creative people especially are going to relate to us. Sometimes technology seems so overwhelming. Like, how do you keep up? It seems very intimidating. Like, what if I break the internet? I know a lot of us that are more middle-aged-ish. Is that a good word? Middle-aged-ish? Like, we also feel just a tiny bit resistant to changes in technology for the simple reason that I think there comes a certain age you get to where you're like, yeah, I don't feel like learning any more new things. I don't feel like learning any more new things. Does anybody relate to that? Please go leave us a review on iTunes and tell me if you can relate to that. And so technology can become, for some business owners, this like big, hairy, scary monster thing. And it's very intimidating. And we make it actually bigger than it is. Now, I want to talk for just a second about how God created creative people. I believe. Okay. First of all, he gave each of us a degree of creativity, number one. So, but I'm talking more to the people who are doing this for a living. And so I want to talk about how you're wired. Okay. And how I think God wired you. So I think when God was, giving out the creative gene, and you're going to be good at decorating, and you're going to be good at making, and you're going to be good at repurposing, and you're going to be really good at color, and you're going to be good at art, and you're going to be good at, I think when he was handing out those things, and I'm pretty sure God didn't do it exactly like that, but just go with me here. The technology gene is just so very counterintuitive to the creative gene. Okay, so like when you're creative, you're like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'll try this, I'll try that. You're kind of more of a wing it person. You're a feeler. Like that's how you figure out how you're going to paint a piece of furniture. Like, I feel like it should go black. It just feels like it's going to look great black to me. Well, technology has none of those things in it. Technology is a very more exact science. It's not a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's not that. It's like you need to know where to do the, where you have to put in the brackets in the right space. Like that's not what being creative is all about. So technology is like so far away from the giftings that we have as creative people. Also, as creative people, and we're like those feeler emotional, like I can walk into a room and be like, gosh, I just feel like if they turn the furniture in this way, it would be more appealing to the eye and conversation would happen better. And I just feel like if we just kind of did the walls in a lighter gray, that would really work. Well, when you talk about technology, there's no feelings in that. Okay. Your WordPress site is either going to work or it's not, regardless of how you feel. The ability for you to capture emails is either going to work or it's not, regardless of if I feel about it. And so technology is so like on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to how we're wired as creative people. Also, so many creative people are visual learners. And you learn by watching other people do and then going and doing yourself, or seeing something on the internet and then going and doing yourself, or seeing a picture of something in a magazine and then going and creating that yourself. That's how you like learn and do things, right? But technology is kind of like it's more of a you have to be trained and direction following, which often isn't visual. So I'm saying all this to say, being creative and understanding technology they're very different on the spectrum, my friends. They're just very different. And yes, I would say that, yes, a website developer can be a creative person, but the way your brains work usually are just very, very different. And so some of you right now are nodding your head and you're going, yes, this is why I can't stand sitting down to my computer and trying to add another item to my website. It makes me want to drink. And it's frustrating and I get all anxious about it, but I feel like I have to do it because I have a business. Honey, you weren't meant to do this. You're a creative and you literally were not meant to do the technical piece of it. So what do we do when our brains really weren't wired to do the technology piece of our business? And yet we have to have technology in order to have a business. And so this is what I want to talk about. This is what's being discussed right now in my Creators Roadmap free group on Facebook. And if you aren't there and you're like, I want to be a part of this conversation, go right now to creatorsroadmap.com. You'll get a link to the video series that's in the middle of going, and you'll also get the links where you can go back and watch it, and then a link to our Facebook group. But I have a couple solutions for you, okay? If your brain is not literally wired to the technology piece, but you still have to have technology in your business, then Jen, what do you do? Okay, this is what you do. You ready? You either hire out the technology, you barter for the technology, or you beg for the technology. Okay, let me give you a couple of examples. You either hire somebody to make that website for you. Hire somebody to put your new products on your site. Hire somebody to get your Facebook and your Instagram to be talking to one another. Hire someone to put a pop-up on your website. Hire that. I know initially in my business, when my business was really starting to make income, I started hiring out all that stuff immediately. I didn't take like a bunch of the money out of the revenue that we were generating because I knew that the technology piece of it, I had to really have an online presence. My website really needed to look good. And I had not the first idea, you guys, like not even the first idea of where to start with that. So the initial money I was making in my business, I instantly pushed it over into hiring somebody to do that piece of it for me. Now, you can barter for it. There was a time, and by the way, I'm not a tax person. You're going to want to talk to your tax people or to your accountant about how this needs to work for you in your state and in your business, okay? So let me just say that to cover myself. But there was a time when I bartered a website in exchange for painting somebody's kitchen cabinets. We just bartered it out. I did something for him, he did something for me. Bada boom, bada bing. So you can hire out some of the tech stuff that you're needing to do, or you can barter it out. You can also beg. What does that look like? That looks like some of you have little people in your house called teenagers. And those teenagers, they could have up a landing page for you in about 47 seconds if you would buy them a new pair of jeans at Forever 21. You have people living under your very roof who could set up a YouTube account for you by noon if you would just tell them what your sign on and your login needs to be. You have people actually literally in your family. You have a brother who does stuff with computers. You have a sister-in-law who understands social media. You have somebody that you could be like, girl, look, can I just beg you to help me with this? I just need help getting from this quick point to this quick point. Some of you are resistant to the ask because you don't want it to appear that you don't know what you're doing. Friend, listen to me. Stay in your lane. Can I say this to every creative person listening to me right now? Stay in your lane. Your lane is creative. If God had wanted you to understand technology, he full good and well would have made you understand technology. But instead, he was like, I want this one to be creative. And so some of you are banging your head against your desk wondering why you cannot figure out how to get the blog posts to be sent automatically to people's email every week. Sweetie, if you would quit spending more hours on that, because every day that you're trying to figure that thing out, you are missing out, literally missing out. But listen, you've been trying to get your website started for 6 months. Quit trying. Every day you go without a website, you are going without dollars in your bank account. Find somebody that can do this piece for you. For those of you that don't understand social media, listen, yes, you do. You follow me, or you wouldn't be listening to my podcast. You follow a bunch of people on social media. It's not that you don't know how to do it. It's just that you haven't figured out yet that what you need to start by doing is imitating those people who are ahead of you who are doing it well. I think isn't it Marie Forleo who says everything's figure-outable? It's either her or Chalene Johnson, either one, brilliant. You can figure it out. Go to Google. Everything you need to know is on Google. But for creative people to continue saying, my business is stuck because I don't understand technology, I'm no good at technology, I can't figure out how to get my website up, I don't know how to do all the things, I would challenge you by saying, stop using that as an excuse. You've made technology into this monster in your mind, and I want you to stop clinging to that as the reason why your business has not grown. There are people that you can ask for help. There are people that you can pay for help. There are people that you can barter for help. There are things that you can Google today and get implemented right away. And so we have to start making technology into this huge monster in our mind. Okay, let me give you a tip. One of the reasons I feel like my business has been super successful is because I'm not all about asking for 10,000 people's opinions on all of the things in my business and then doing all of the research and then comparing apples to oranges and then coming up with a plan of what we would need to implement and thinking about it for a year and a half. No, thank you, ma'am. I nobody got time for that crap. And I know this sounds harsh, but literally, there are things in some of your businesses, and literally my blood pressure is high because of this, because I'm watching this Facebook group and these precious women who have precious businesses going, and they're stuck because of the tech piece. And it's frustrating because they're in limbo trying to decide a couple things. Here's my advice to you. Pull the trigger on something, my friend. It don't matter to me if you decide to use Aweber or Entreport for your email. Just pick. Just pick. Very few things on this side of heaven are permanent. Making decisions like that are not permanent. But if you waste one more single day trying to just think about making a decision, like, it makes my head spin. Ask for the advice of someone you trust and just do what they say. Stop asking for the advice of 100 people and comparing all of the things. Now, for some of you who are different on the Enneagram, you're different on the disc profile than I am, you're different on the Myers-Briggs, is that it? Yeah, Myers-Briggs thing. I know that this is going to sound harsh to you, and it's also going to sound like, well, geez, easy for her to say. You know what? It is easy for me to say, and I actually walk it out. If you would just commit to deciding on something or hiring someone, you would be shocked at how much momentum you could get in your business. I used to just ask people, what do you suggest I use for a pop-up on my website? Somebody says pop-up domination. Okay, done. Get a hold of my VA immediately. Can we get pop-up domination and get a pop-up on my site? I don't have to think about this for 2 weeks. This is not worthy decisions of months of contemplation. I think one of the reasons I'm so passionate about this topic is I know how valuable time is. And some of you don't have time to be wasting around trying to figure things out. Your family needs for you to be generating an income in your business yesterday. You know that I use these couple of things as examples because they're real life examples. Some of you need tires on the minivan yesterday. You want to go on vacation with your family for the first time ever. You need that money starting to go into a vacation account yesterday. Your kiddo wants to take ballet or soccer lessons and you need that money yesterday. And every day that you're not implementing the things in your business that I know from both personal experience and coaching over 3,000 entrepreneurs every month, I know the things that will grow your business. And every day you're thinking about them, you are literally losing dollars. You're literally losing dollars. Please, creatives, stop trying to figure out how to figure it out. Stay in your lane. If you have to barter things, beg for things, but find people that can help you get some of this tech stuff resolved so you can get about the business of creating and generating some income for your families. I love you so much. Honestly, I do. When I think about creative entrepreneurs and I think about some of you precious women, and some of you are at home trying to start this thing with a baby on a hip right now, and I think about how I was you 16, 17 years ago. I get it. I was right where you're at. But some of you are using the technology piece as an excuse, and you've got to stop doing it. In the world we live in today, you can hire anybody. Go to Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. You can hire anybody on Fiverr. You could post something on your business Facebook page today. If you take my Creators Roadmap course, you have access to all of my resources. You literally have the email and phone number for the people we've used for my websites, for my pop-ups, for all of the things. And so there's literally no excuse as to why you keep stalling with the technology piece. You were not meant and created to be able to figure it out. Please don't go another 6 weeks, 6 months trying to figure out how to get something added to your website. Pay somebody to do this for you. Let them do the tech piece so you can stay in your lane and do the creative piece. I love you enough to tell you the truth. So, whew. Lord have mercy. I didn't even see that coming. I literally just sat down and turned on my podcasting mic, which is why the mic was a foot away from me on the on my desk right now. So listen, again, if you go to creatorsroadmap.com before February 15th, you'll be able to join our free pop-up group where you can see some of these conversations happening and see my advice to other entrepreneurs who are trying to get into the online space. It is both my responsibility and my honor to be able to share with you guys what I know. And I will plan on seeing you over inside the group. Until next time, stay creative. Bye-bye. On somebody, wow, I just realized, Chris, that my microphone was like a mile away from me. I was so excited about this topic, I literally started talking before even pulling my mic towards my mouth. What kind of a hashtag rookie move is that, Chris? Chris, can you hear me? If I just completely jacked up all the audio, I apologize before God and everyone. I'm so sorry.